JasonRealManCaveTalk, and due to all the things that's going on to the city, I had to reach out to a good brother, man. He's a Baltimore activist, author, gang prevention. You might have seen him doing the rides here in Baltimore and Ferguson, man. Dr. Sutton, aka Crazy Ted. What's going on, brother? Thanks for coming to the man.
Pleasure to meet you, bro. Pleasure to be here.
Man, how you doing, brother?
Man, I'm blessed, man. Any day above ground is a blessing, And it's been a rough week, but, it seems like most of my weeks are a little rough, so I'm just doing what I gotta do.
Okay. For the people out there who don't know who Dr. Sutton, aka Crazy Ted, man, give him a little background.
Oh, man. Well, just to share with you, one is both of my parents were civil rights leaders. Father marched with Dr. King, mother worked for Medgar Evers. Uncle was a Black Panther out in California with Bunchy Carter, and I was that middle child that when they moved from the South up north, and they moved finally to Baltimore. I was that middle child that ended up getting hooked up with one of the roughest groups that was on the East Coast. So some of the people that they wrote the series The Wire behind, I was actually with. So I was one of the younger people, on that. A lot of people know my godfather, a man named Little Melvin Williams, may rest in peace. And much respect for him. He showed me a lot of things, taught me a lot of things. And but that's some of my history. So when you talk about Crazy Ted, I was the 15-year-old boy that was running around, carrying a sawed-off shotgun, and that's crazy in itself. If you carry a sawed-off shotgun on a day-to-day basis, Also, with that, and so I actually was part of what the problem was here in Baltimore. I realized early that it seemed like adults couldn't protect you. So you was either going to be a good fighter or a good runner. And I didn't have no track shoes.
Right.
So, I planted them boots, and I decided to be a good fighter. And that's how I ended up getting kind of caught up and all into that whole, business. And really, I just had a miraculous change after, making some money, after being on the side of wrong and everything else. And, I ended up having 1 year. I lost so many things, I almost lost my mind, to be honest with you. One, they had already given Melvin 35 years. My best friend was gunned down on President Bonds. Two of my guys in my crew both received life plus 20. My god brother had went through $175,000. And, one of my guys who was one of my pit bulls had gotten paralyzed from the neck down. Girlfriend had got diagnosed with cancer and passed away. And then I had one of my dudes that was real close to me, and he actually ended up getting caught with a carload of guns to get himself out. He sent the ATF to my house. My house was raided. My church-going parents' house was raided. They almost shot my pit bulls, Rockwellers, 2 guys in my crew, and my nephew. And then I was looking at time, and in that situation, only 2 people showed up for me. And one, he was throwing me under the bus, and the other one, he came in, and I was so happy to see him. I gave him the head nod, and he looked at me in the eyes, and then he looked down at the ground. And I realized at that exact moment, he didn't want nobody to even know he knew Crazy Ted.
Right.
So it wasn't like the movies, what's up, man? I got you. I'm gonna ride this until it wasn't none of that. It was all like you on your own.
Right.
And in that situation, man, I realized at that exact moment, and like I tell people, the worst thing that could ever happen to you is for you to fall in love with something that don't love you back.
Right.
And I saw that I had put in work, I had put in, some blood, sweat, time, and everything else into something that at the end of the day, it didn't have that love for me. And I ended up receiving a miracle. I had asked for God to give me a second chance in the Mitchell Courthouse building, 2nd floor, 4th bathroom stall with toilet water on the floor. A few minutes before I was to get sentenced to 15 years, and that was the deal they were offering. And I ended up receiving a miracle. They ended up actually dismissing all charges on me. I still sat in the seat because I was waiting for the bailiff to tap me on my shoulder. Stand up, put your hands behind your back, go over there and get your paperwork, sit in the chair, wait for the bailiff to take you downstairs, wait for the van to come pick you up, take you to processing. I had that in my mind. the judge had to tell me a second time, you know, I said you can leave. He said, but I hope I don't see you like this again.
Right.
And I stood on both feet and looked him in the eyes, and I'm like, you'll never see me like this again. And I went out and got my bachelor's degree, my master's degree, my doctorate degree. I started transitional housing for young men who were in gangs. I started independent living program for young men aging out of foster care. Started a recording studio for some young people. And then I started going around the country, helping young men to change their lives. Bloods in California, Crips in Little Rock, Arkansas, Vice Lords, Gangster Disciples in Chicago, Junior Black Mafia in Philadelphia, Ninth Ward Boys in New Orleans, Insane Vice Lords, Jackson, Mississippi, the 515 Boys in London, the Johnsons, the Burgers in the UK, the Americans in South Africa. They call it Americans. They were going hard, yeah, in Johannesburg, and then also in Zimbabwe, man, and then I had a chance to also partner up with Martin Luther King's daughter, you know, and do some stuff at the King Center and Bernice King, and started going around in different King Centers around the country, man. So I mean, it's still I'm still in awe about it. I'm a consultant for the show Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Right.
I wrote the book Temporarily Insane. I wrote another one called From Pain to Power, and now there's a movie being done on my life called All of a Sudden, like my last name Sutton. So I'm in the man cave right now, you know, holding it down, holding it down. Oh man, it's my pleasure to be here, brother. It's my pleasure.
Man, with all the chaos going on, and I ain't want to just jump straight into this because I know we got other things to talk about, but little schooling, man. Shining light, man. I mean, you know how a lot of dudes, you know, it's ignorant, but it happens. Some people say when people get murdered, well, he wasn't eating with us. I don't know him. Blah, blah, blah. But with Shorty, everybody upset about it, man. Everybody's pissed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what is causing all this death and destruction, you know, throughout the city?
I mean, well, I'm going to tell you like this, and something I tell a lot of people I deal with, you know, don't let it come to your door before you want to fight for the pride.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I tell a lot of guys, you know what I'm saying, see, you know, I'm fighting for this. But right now, you know, you don't have time.
Right.
But if I'm giving a party, you got time.
Right.
You know, if I got free food, you got time.
Right.
If I got broads, you got time. If I got weed, you got time.
All day long.
You know what I'm saying? All day long. But I'm like, but when do we say that we're going to sacrifice for not my own child today? My own child is safe somewhere. But I'm going to fight for this man's child.
Right.
Or I'm going to fight for this child who don't have a man in his life. And that's most of the time, that's what it is.
Right.
A lot of these young men, you know, they home and people they get mixed signals. You know what I'm saying? They have to be an adult at home, and then they got to be a child in school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the whole nine. So if they hear a crash in the window, they not thinking that mama gonna come and protect me. You know, they thinking that I gotta be the man in the house and I gotta stand up. And it's unfortunate that they have to be in that imbalance right there.
Right.
You know.
See, and another thing I always was curious of is as far as the generations, like, all right, we went through the slavery time, Jim Crow, the civil rights time.
Yeah.
And each generation said, you don't have it as bad as we had.
Willie Lynch.
You don't have it as bad as we had. But I'm thinking, this must be rough too, because we've been losing this war for as long as I've been living, as far as the guns and the drugs, and you know what I'm saying? What's your take on that?
Oh man, first of all, let me tell you how bad it is. See, a lot of people try to put it on, well, I don't know why they not doing this, or they should be doing this. And a lot of people, I think, got a lot of complaints to say, but they don't have a blueprint, and they don't go to them like, look, you on this corner, I see you out here every day. Let me take you, brother, and let me show you something.
Right.
Or a lot of people don't have that mentality, so they'll sit back and criticize them, but they don't do anything.
Right.
Another thing is that, well, something that I say all the time, is that people have been using an 8-track solution for an iPod problem.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, most of these young cats, they ain't never heard of an 8-track.
Right.
That was that big box you jammed in there, and you press one button and it'll go to one song. You can't rewind it and all this and that. But to me, that's how I see a lot of stuff kind of going down as far as with that. Like in my book, Temporarily Insane, I have a chapter that talks about these young cats today. Nobody has even taught them how to do wrong the right way.
Right.
So they even doing wrong. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like how do you steal a car in your own neighborhood and keep it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How do you go to a beef with 6 guys in the car, all got hoodies on, everybody got burners, radio blasting, weed smoke going out the window, bad tags and a tail light out.
Right.
See, me, I don't understand that. I don't know nothing about that because that's actually doing wrong, 100% wrong.
Right.
So when you talk about it, and actually there's something about them thinking being gangster or being hardcore, like 8 guys jumping on one civilian. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To me, I don't respect that.
At all.
You know, or it used to be where, you know, like if Big Mama or Nana, you know what I'm saying, tell you don't sell drugs in front of my house and you do it anyway, then you disrespect her. Then if she call the police, you think she's snitching. And I'm just like, yo, that's not even snitching for real. There are different rules for civilians and there are different rules for soldiers. Now me, I'm probably not gonna call the police on you. I'm gonna ask you, I'm gonna try to give you a warning because it's a statement I used to say. I used to say, do your homework before you test me.
Right.
Because I want you to really know who I am. I'm trying to work really hard with you.
Right.
I'm trying not to go backwards, but I'm trying to work with you. But for civilians, that grandmother is not gonna come out there with no ratchet talking about, I told y'all to move. She's gonna ask you to move, and then she's probably gonna call the only avenue that she knows, probably calling the police. Then you want to label her, oh, she a snitch, she a rat. No, she's doing exactly what she would do under normal circumstances because she's a civilian.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That only works for people that's in the street. So if you and I did a crime and you got away, you know, and then they caught me, and then I make a deal for less time, I give you up, then I have officially snitched as far as what the streets say. But if Big Mama say, I don't want you selling drugs in front of my house, and if you keep on, I'm going to call the police, she's not snitching on you. She's just telling. You know, and I think that that's part of the problem where you they don't see real men being real men and telling them, like, young buck, man, you doing this wrong, yo. You know, you don't terrorize your own community. You know what I'm saying? Or get down off that car, man. That's somebody's car right there. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is they don't have somebody that they respect. Because, see, you have to earn the right to tell somebody something. You know what I'm saying? You can't just walk up on people, pull your pants up, get rid of them gold teeth and get jobs. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, well, who are you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, but for the ones that I talk to, I'm like, yo, check this out. You know, I done been to court for you. I done had to write a letter for you. You know what I'm saying? When you ain't had food, I was there. When you had beef and I tried to squash the situation for you and all this and that, I'm saying, look, I can tell you now. I have earned the right to say something to you. And that's how, I mean, but if they had more men who were being men in their lives, not just hollering at the mother, you know what I'm saying, but really being men in their lives, I think it would change the whole tide of what's going on right now.
So from that standpoint, is it safe to say we gotta let them, for us, I don't know what age range you want to say, 22 on up, do what they do until they phase out, and then we school a younger generation because they so caught up, you know what I mean? I thought about it.
I feel you.
I was like, what do we do? Like, man, y'all clowns, you can't talk to y'all, so it's gonna be what it's gonna be with y'all. But from that age now, we're gonna straighten them out and show them how to be men, how to be real soldiers. That's the dilemma. Like, what do we really do about the situation?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I do. I deal on both ends. The younger end is dealing with totally prevention.
Right.
The ones that are a little older, that's dealing with intervention.
Right.
And that's the ones where, and you can do group sessions, but you're going to have to do a lot of one-on-ones.
Right.
Because, see, as long as their peers are around, see, the thing is that just like when I was younger, the time when I should have been focusing on the prom, should have been focusing on trying to get my license legal and stuff like that. I mean, we were comparing guns. So somebody be like, yo, this Desert Eagle just came out. Be like, oh man, that ain't nothing. Yo, take this Tech 9. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm like, yo, I don't like the Tech 9. It's always jammed. You know what I'm saying? But I like this P89 Ruger. So what I'm saying is that because we surrounded ourselves with cats that thought alike, it normalized the insanity.
Right.
So that's what. So it wasn't so insane. It just was normal. It was just Tuesday or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just Wednesday. We made it normal.
Right.
And I think that that's one of the things that a lot of our young people, they don't really know what is normal anymore. Everything is you turn up, ratchet, you know, and everything else. So they glorify the things that's designed to destroy you.
Right.
And they push away the things that's designed to keep them alive. So a person is, so anytime you got anytime I've had young people that told me they are ashamed to raise their hand when they know the answer in class.
Right.
Because they don't want nobody to know they smart.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right.
See, I try to turn around. We got to break down the whole culture. And when I say that, you know, it's like, don't take the culture away. Help redefine it. So I don't want you to stop being a hustler. I want you to change the product. That's all I want you to do. Still hustle. I had a young guy. I was in Chester, Pennsylvania, and I was speaking. And this young cat said, "Well, why should I go to school? They don't care about me anyway. They don't care." He was trying to really like turn up. And I said, "Yo, check this out." I said, "If somebody owed you some money, would you go see him?" And he was like, "Huh?" I said, "Would you go holler at him?" He was like, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, check this out. In that school, it's like Fort Knox. And it's a certain amount of gold that's owed to you." And I said, "Now, this ain't no love fest. You ain't supposed to be, you don't have to bring them no apple, and they ain't got to be bringing you no flowers."
Right.
And I said, "But are you saying that you don't like somebody, but you going to let them get paid for teaching you, and you don't even show up to get your share of the money, get your share of the cut?" I'm like, something's wrong with that, man. And I said, that's called handling your business. And I said, and I guarantee you, all them people that's trying to get you to stay home and don't do this and don't go to school and all, I said, I guarantee you one thing, they don't have no education. And I said, man, let me tell you this, anything you really want to learn is in a book. And I said, but on the other hand of that, you know, that piece of paper certifies you to be able to go in doors that would never let you in. And I said, and I need you to get through this door, because if not, this one block with the chicken box and the half and half and you feel comfortable is the place that you will live and you will die in. And you not see nothing outside of that. So, you know, that's all they know. And they comfortable there. See, one of the things I share with my young guys is, and I always tell them this, I said, your success starts where your comfort zone ends. And you got to get out of that comfort zone. You gotta, you know what? Yeah, you comfortable just playing Xbox and being home every day and chilling. But I'm like, but let me ask you this: if you happen to actually live a 42-year-old man that's still playing Xbox every day, all day, if you ain't one of the gamers and doing this professionally, where you getting big money for it, that's not a good, a sexy look. And your girl ain't gonna be really cool having to go to work every day and seeing you with that bowl of cereal when she leave and seeing you in that same place in the couch when she come back. I said, because at the end of the day, she now don't see you as the man of the house. She see you as one of the other children. And I said, and we gotta break that stereotype, man. And that's what I'm here for. I'm trying to break every last one of them, for real.
We need guys like you, man. But for us with the Sutton House and let's talk about some of the guys that you know you didn't help improve their lives. I know you had famous kids. Yeah.
I mean, it's really wild. Like, all right, like to give you an example, one of my guys, I call him my son for real. And if you look him up, he's actually I'll just start on like this. He actually used to be one of the Bloods. He used to be with Sex, Money, Murder. He was put out of 5 schools. People gave up on him and everything. But just to share with you, I started working with this young man. He started working in the school. I mean, this young man actually received the most valued employee for all charter schools for the state of Maryland a couple years ago. And he actually just received last year Baltimore's hometown hero. And he was sent out to LA and everything. And that's something that makes me feel good, because I feel like I was a part of you know, that piece. In fact, it was funny, I used to take him around with me so much, and people, and our birthday is on the same day. It's like September the 6th. And I had to make him show me a piece of paper or some ID. I'm like, yo, I think you trying to play me. He's like, no, that's my real birthday. So what happened was that it really made me feel good. I took him under my wing and I started taking places, and I was like, this is my godson, this is my god. People started saying, yo, this your son? Oh, your son look just like you. Then I just said, man, I'm tired of telling people you my godson. You just my son now. You know what I'm saying? So it was real good, and that really felt good for me, that to know that after people had given up on it, after people said it wasn't going to be nothing, that to see that that didn't have to be the case, you know, and that your final situation doesn't have to be your final destination. Another young man, I mean, he had got into trouble. His grandmother was actually the mother of my father's church. He had got into all kind of trouble. He was doing everything under the sun. And he actually got banned from all church trips. And so how do you get banned from church trips, though, for real? But this young cat, you know, it turns out that he ended up actually just doing different things, and he wanted to rap. So we would do a cipher, and he would get in the cipher. I'm like, all right, yo, you want to be in the cipher? So he'd be like, yo, I used to give it to him. He, yo. And I just like, yo, you can't say yo for 10 minutes, yo. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to spit or you're not going to spit, what you going to do? And really he was rapping wasn't his thing. You know, I tried to encourage everybody, but I was like, you might have to collect stamps or something else, but that ain't gonna do for you. But we were in the studio, man, and I heard him, and I said, what you singing? And he was like, well, I know it might seem strange. I'm like, hold. I was like, I said, do this. And I was like, there's a ribbon in the sky for our love. Yeah. Listen. And let me share something with you, man. He ain't hit it. He killed it.
Right.
Man, and I talked to his mother, and I was like, this boy is off the hook. He's just a beast with it. We started doing little demos. I started actually going up in front of the church and stuff, singing with him first, because he was a little shy to sing in front of people. Man, do you know that he got into a benefit for Stevie Wonder, sung A Ribbon in the Sky to him, and a man named Clyde Davis was there. And Clyde Davis was like, look, I want him right now. I want to sign him. And actually, he ended up saying, we're pushing Alicia Keys right now, but he's next in line. And then he came out with the song, he said he's just a friend. And that was my young boy Mario that was on Dancing with the Stars and Step It Up and singing Braid My Head. Yeah, that's my man. Mad love, you know what I'm saying? And his family is very close to, you know, our family. You know, his mother, his mother's mother, his mother's mother, you know, the whole nine. I mean, so it's really, you know, something. So, you know, I guess I feel good. Right. To be able to be a part of making a difference out here in a positive way. Right. You know, it's real talk, you know.
So being through the Freddie Gray and Ferguson situation, what was your experiences going through that?
Oh man, you know what? To be real honest with you, it's really a hard question because see, I think it was a time definitely for the movement, but you know, sometimes you had people that had their own personal agendas in it, and right. you don't want it to turn all political. Right. You want it to be about change and about the people and about it being better for the people. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I had talked to some people in Ferguson when I was just there last week, and they were sharing with me. They was just like, well, look, to be honest with you, some of these places ain't have insurance, and we still don't have nothing. And right. they saying, really, it ain't a whole bunch of them same people that was out here and they was on TV and running around. They was like, we don't see them. Right. And you know, I'm like, well, you see me, and I'm here. Right. So tell me, what can these hands do, and what can I do? Who can I call on the phone and try to see how we can change this? And so, you know, it made me feel better because I said I can't speak for everybody else. I can only speak for me. Right. So even with the situation here in Baltimore, I mean, they had some people that got on the radio and they were saying that I know so many young people and so many gang members that I could have stopped the riots. They were saying me. I was like, I ain't know y'all looked at me like that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't never give me a dime of grant money, but right. you saying I could have stopped it? Okay, cool, I'll go with that. But it's just really something when you see people are so quick to want to criticize and say how things could have went, but you ain't see them right. with their hands on, right. you know, doing the thing. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I had talked to people like when things had first went down, and I went and talked to some of the cats that was really heated right after things had happened. And I was like, yo, just chill, just, you know, calm things down, you know, in the whole nine. And then, you know, saying some of the same people that the family and stuff was calling all week ain't even answer the phone call. Now you in front, you know what I'm saying? You marching it. I'm just like, what's going on? Right. You know, I'm like, you know, you wasn't even it wasn't important enough to you right. in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And so to me, you know, I'm like, you know, all lives are important. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I ran down there before he was the so-called national Freddie Gray right. symbol. I ran down there because he was a young man that the people were saying he had been mistreated, and that's how I'm still doing it.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be something that went viral or something that somebody heard about in London. I'm like, shoot, it may have been just in East Baltimore, and information may have still stayed in East Baltimore.
Right.
You know, AKA Crazy Ted, I'm still going.
Right. So for some of the dudes out here, man, that's doing the right thing, it's fed up. How can we, I know we're tired after a long day, but how can we be a part of the solution? What you think, what would your advice be? So we can get out there and, you know, lend you a hand. So you don't gotta carry all this burden by yourself.
Well, actually, to be honest with you, you know, I would tell people to try to reach out to me, because it's not about necessarily, you know, who leading it, but you got to know that you're part of something that means something that's making a difference. You know, and I would say, you know, to contact me at SuttonHouseVision.com. That's SuttonHouseVision.com, or you can look up Ted Freedom Fighter Sutton, and you'll see me there. Either that, you know, Ted Freedom Fighter Sutton, you know, and or even on Instagram, and which is Sutton House Vision, just Sutton House Vision. I mean, and I guess for me, you know, it's about the people. See, I'm not focusing on the quantity of men, but I am focusing on the quality.
Right.
See, to me, you know, just like Jesus in the Bible, I mean, he had 12 people and they helped change the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm focusing on the part of Baltimore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if he had 12 and he could change the world, I figured that we can have some real men and we can definitely change this city.
Right.
You know, standing up. And I mean, and people, you know, I like to give you an example. Just recently, I had a young man, and I was driving down Cold Spring, and I saw him, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to holler back at him. I was trying to get somewhere. He called me. He's like, yo, Mr. Ted, can you stop through here for real? It's going down. And it just turns out that he asked somebody to leave his house. It got volatile. He put him out. He kind of held them out a little bit as he was putting them out. And they were like, we calling all these people. So they calling people. So they on their way there. So we outside smoking a fug. And he like, yeah, yo, you know what I'm saying? It's going down. Well, okay, we come around. And I took the time and I said, you know what, yeah, somebody could come right around the corner, try to burn everything up. Somebody can, you know, and I told him, I said, yo, check this out. And I said, man, most of these cowards that know you good with the hands, they ain't gonna want to fight you.
At all.
I said, I'm gonna tell you how this is gonna end up, because you gotta stop playing life like checkers and start playing it like chess.
Right.
I said, I'm thinking 8 and 9 moves down the road. So while I'm looking at you, I'm like, okay, then this is gonna happen. He gonna do this, then I'm gonna do this. Then I said, that's how I think. I said, one of my favorite books outside of the Bible was called The Art of War by Sun Tzu. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling them, and I said, so what's gonna happen is, man, they not gonna fight you. I said, so this is gonna end up with you either getting shot in the back, jumped by 8 guys, and they trying to hurt you because they ain't gonna give you no fair one.
Right.
And I said, or something's gonna happen and you gonna end up going to Central Book.
Right.
I said, so these are the outcomes that's probably gonna happen. I said, now, number 2 is, it's not even gonna be over from there, because if you do win, let me tell you how part B to this situation.
Right.
I said, you got a door, you have a girl and 2 children that stay in this little apartment. I said, now, you don't protect your family by getting out here putting in work with 8 guys in front of your house and they know where you live at, where you lay your head at. I said, you protect your family by squashing this and making sure you don't bring no drama back to your home.
Right.
And I said, because how they gonna get you is why you out trying to move furniture, trying to make a little bit of money legally. You know what I'm saying? What they gonna do is they gonna see your baby mother walking to the supermarket or going to the subway. And I said, and that's how they gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? And I said, because that's how it is. I said, you know, right now you beefing with the worst enemy in the world. And I said, the dude that knows everything about you. And I said, so, but what I was saying, he went on in, we saw the people, I had them to talk, they ended up squashing him. And he went back in the house. But what I'm saying is how many young men are even connected to a man like me or like you, you know what I'm saying, or like this brother right here, that would have the wisdom enough to say, yo, for real, you ain't being a man because you fighting in front of your house, in front of your kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A man is able to squash a situation, diffuse it, de-escalate it. That's what I need for you to do. And not even just for you. If it was just you, then you can make decisions like that. I'm just going to go hard. I'm just going to be ratchet. I'm just going to be street. And I'm like, but when you got children that are dependent for you to make good decisions, you don't have the right to just be selfish and say, I want to fight this out. I want to do this my way. Like Liberace said.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have the right to. So I think that for men to come together and do these things, you know, I think that that's something that's necessary. I'm actually even giving a dinner coming up. I'm putting a date and everything together. It's called For My Mother's Sake. And that's where I'm having gang members serve mothers who have lost their children to the streets. And I want the mothers to tell them what it was to have to go identify that child. What it was to, you know, what it felt like, you know, to get that call. You know what I'm saying? And all because, see, and I'm talking about people who putting in work and people that's feeling the pain from that work and bringing them together. So, you know, it's just like I said, I mean, it's about, you know, real men standing up for what you believe in.
It's brother deep, man. It's brother real deep.
Appreciate you, bro.
Let everybody know how they can get in touch with you, all your social media pages and everything.
All right, well, I appreciate it. You know, one is that, and then I'll show them this, and he may show it a little later. This is my brochure. This is one of my books. You know, it's called Temporarily Insane. You know, I have a DVD called Urban Youth in the United States. You can look up some of it on my website or on YouTube. But my website is SuttonHouseVision.com. That's SuttonHouseVision.com. My Instagram is SuttonHouseVision. And also on Facebook, is you can look me up as Edward Sutton, or you can look me up as Ted Freedom Fighter Sutton. That's Ted Freedom Fighter Sutton. And also there's a number which is 410-428-3894. So if you have a young person that is going through and they need somebody to talk to, you know, or they just want to, I've even told some people, if you were thinking about doing something that may end up with you losing your life or somebody else having their life taken, just give me 7 minutes to talk to you. Just give me 7 minutes. And I even also share with them, and I don't want no money from them. And also, I love grown women, so I ain't into nothing else. All I want, I mean, I gotta tell people that sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I'm into grown women, so that's not even the case. I wanna see lives change, man. I wanna save some lives, and that's what I'm about. So, in fact, one of the chapters in my book is called "Don't Be Born an Original and Die a Copy." And I see too many young people end up dying trying to be something that they're not.
See, man, everybody out here looking for solutions, man. There's brothers like Dr. Sutton out here putting in work, man. So if y'all want to be a part of the solution, man, contact them. We're here. And JasonRealManCaveTalk is signing out.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. All right, man. Peace.